Rs from both the teams here, so we are going to be able to go ahead and get right into it. Valkyrie will be starting on defense, Powerhaus on the offense. Let's go ahead and get into the offense.
Yeah, so Valkyrie, again, Valkyrie's been a pretty powerful roster ever since they made the changes, bringing in Sirius and McDomi. Both, very, very young gunners. Powerhouse as well, having a lot of changes recently. Twist being the newest member, but Crimson and Jandy also very recent additions. So I'm interested to see how they stack up against each other. Nomad's going to be the first ban from Valkyrie, which is no surprise. She's, she usually doesn't see the light of day on maps like Consulate and like Border that focus on a lot of very aggressive play from the defense and runouts and stuff. Actually, maybe it won't be a Thatcher. It would be cool if Thatcher was left on the board. But yeah, okay, he will be. It will be Capital.
So that is that's actually the first time that we have that we've seen that happen in a while. It has been a long time since I have seen Thatcher actually unbanned, and on Consulate no less. That is actually a little bit more interesting to me, is that they have left it open on Consulate, a map where arguably Thatcher is one of the most important attackers to ban for a variety of reasons. One, to allow you on the defense to have as much utility down as possible, falling more into that meta, and then also going into looking downstairs in the basement. Thatcher is incredibly important in opening up that garage wall, so you get him banned off the board. Makes it a lot harder for the attack to take care of that. With Thatcher left up on the board, that's going to be much easier for Powerhaus to do, and the defense is going to have a very difficult time in taking that. So we'll see how it plays out. It's an interesting set of.
I think something interesting to note is the fact that, usually, and who enables you to run out on players outside? It's Valkyrie. Valkyrie's amazingly helpful in setups like that. Valkyrie banned Valkyrie too. So it's interesting that they chose to both ban the Nomad, which helps their aggression, as well as Valkyrie, which hurts their aggression. But it isn't like they're playing that style, as we see a clash being brought out first from Blastful. Wow, okay, so not JJ Blastful anymore, so I guess we're not calling him JJ anymore, huh? I guess he's Blastful from now on.
So, that's honestly, that's going to be terrifying, right? But I think that is probably going to be one of the biggest indicators of how well this team works together. Is how well they play off of a clash, because she can be absolutely terrifying, or she can just be an absolute handicap of someone who can't really do a whole lot in the way of frags, doesn't have a ton of base utility, but when you work with a team, you can use her shield to gather intel, you can use it to slow down and bait people into kill. You can use her in a lot of great you can use her in a lot of great situations, but they require very precise teamwork. So I'll be interested to see how that plays out. And Blatzel being put on that as well, I think, is a good indicator of how well that may potentially work out. But McDomi there, gonna go ahead and take down the Twist. He breaks the boards there on the top of the connector window.
And Twist being that star fragger from last map too, that's definitely a fantastic frag to start off. Yeah, it's an Ashe, but still, with a Maestro on the board, she can find utility. Prolix spawning out the clash, tagging up someone's feet. It was going to be a death, but Sirius on the other side of the map will take down Crimson. That's your hard breacher gone. Not sure if he's already gotten the long wall open, but it's a pick nonetheless. Now you got a two-man advantage. However, Blasphem's been very lit up, walking through those, I believe the track stingers is actually lit up. The upside down repel comes out from Jandy to finally fell the Maestro, but he's still taken to your teammates, so it's a pretty worthy trade, and you see Blasphem's been revived back to, or not revived, but healed back up to about half HP from the dock of Sirius, who takes a nade to the face from Seal, but persists. I don't think he's got any stim pistols left, though. He hasn't healed himself back up, but wow, what a peek! Prone using the clash like a mirror window. Sirius will fell Prolix off the window just like that. It's all Jandy and Seal in a 2 versus 4. with a Clash still on the board, Seal's still got a nade, but it's still not going to be great. So far, this Clash play is working out beautifully, but a flank in by Seal will fell one, but quickly Clash will turn around to avoid being shot in the back, and they know exactly where Jandy's out with held. This is going to be a difficult task for Powerhaus to clear this Clash.
Absolutely, and now that they have the intel of where Seal is, you've got the one player sitting over there just inside of the meeting room as well. It's going to make things very, very difficult for Seal to make this push from admin. It looks like Jandy is actually going to be rotating all the way around, grabbing that diffuser, and potentially getting up on the windows of console office. Now, this could work out really well, but there is one person sitting inside connector that could potentially deny that repel in. I believe that's Rated there, who's sitting up in there. And that can prove very, very disastrous, and as Jandy will give away his position there. He may have also just cost him his life, as the smoke day will come out there from Rated. We get ready to see the swing, and Jandy gonna waste all of his utility there. The Clash knows where he's coming in. The smoke day is coming out here, gonna go ahead and catch him up. Also getting caught by the Clash. He's gonna get caught in that smoke a little bit longer, but Jandy with a nice pick there on Rated almost catches the back there of Blastful. Adapt on Seal. It's all to Jandy, but the stuns coming out from the Clash will prevent him from making that push down, and that will be the first round going in favor of Valkyrie.
Largely off the back of that Clash. That was flawlessly played there by Blastful. You could see how well they were communicating and playing around her, and there's Powerhaus just didn't know how to deal with it.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I was talking about. Is
I think the Gridlock's tracks were a good try.
Yeah, no, they
but
absolutely.
the dock kind of negated that.
Yeah. The Gridlock, the track stingers, as well as it looked like she was getting shot from the skylight over yellow stairs as well, just a little bit. But they weren't able to. They weren't able to close it out, unfortunately. So it's gonna make if Valkyrie keeps playing like this, it's going to make things very, very difficult for Powerhaus. But we saw last map, it ended out 7-5. They went full regulation, and Valkyrie pulled themselves up to a 6-3 advantage, a 3-round advantage. And Powerhaus was able to pull it all the way back to the brink of overtime, and unfortunately just fell short. So definitely don't want to help Powerhaus out here, despite the fact that we have not in the face of Twist on the board, but he did incredibly well back on Clubhouse. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'll be interested to see where it goes from here. Again, it's only one round, it's only one site. We'll see where it goes. This is where I'm going to be interested to see how the lack of a Thatcher ban is going to come. It actually looks like it doesn't matter, because Powerhaus have just not brought a Thatcher.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb.
They don't have Thermite either.
Yeah, they don't have Thermite, they don't have Thatcher. They only have Hibana as their hard breach, and they brought a lot of utility, though, and they brought some soft breach as well in the hands of Seal. They brought Janny in there for a little bit of roam clear, and Prolix as well to sort of deny those rotates a little bit, provide a little bit more utility on the site. But it doesn't look as bad as Twist is going to be the first one going down. He is now 0 for 2 on entry so far. He is struggling this map.
Yeah, not having as much impact, at least not through the first 2 rounds. It was McDommy last round, it'll be Adapt now. That's your Ash does, your main point of entry. It seems like he was just kind of soloing in through Visa. So unfortunately that he's going to get taken out and really no opportunity for a trade. You see the way that Powerhaus are playing it, right? They don't have a Thatcher, so their plan is we're going to take top control, we're going to work our way down, move into piano, reach, above the wall so we can clear the jammers that are set by Blastful, because that's really the only utility that they have on the wall. But Valkyrie are playing into that. They've got the Vigil on the roam, they got Jaeger on the roam, they've got bathroom presence in the mute. It's almost like they're trying to bait Powerhaus into going for that play. And so far it's netted them a pick. Adapt got the main entry. He's 2-0 now. So or the Ash is 0-2 now.
Yeah, and I think Adapt knows that Prolix is right here by this hatch. I think he's very painfully aware of that, and he's just waiting for Prolix to try and make that drop down in there. Yeah, that one track stinger right there probably gave him away. So I'll be interested to see what the play is here, because Adapt is very, very ready for Prolix, but I think Prolix may
bomb
be
located by attacker.
Instead, maybe go down Spiral or something like that. But we'll see McDommy going ahead, making the rotate up here, trying to contest. Maestro sees the gun barrel of one there on the yellow stairs, does not finish him off, unfortunately. Will get taken down by Jandy, but Blattsville is there, able to get the refrag very, very quickly. It's now a 4v3, still in favor of Valkyrie, but McDomi, you gotta hit your shots, man.
That was funny. That could have been the flank of a lifetime. The Jackal wasn't looking at him, and he just whiffed all his shots, and Jandy reacted in time. At least Blasphel was able to crit it out, right? Because that was the main thing. Blasphel couldn't peek out to distract the sledge because you had the Jackal covering, but now you've eliminated that coverage. So Seal kind of has to do it all himself, and Blasphel is now left unchecked up in bathroom because I'm pretty sure the gridlock. Okay, no, the gridlock's come over to cover that now. So at least you've got another player there. But she's going to be preoccupied upstairs with that position, while Crimson and Crimson and Seal are left to try and push sight. And Blasphell's actually dropped down, so Gridlock has control of the hatch at least, and it seems like the Vigil and the Mute are both aware of that. And Seal just cannot penetrate into the yellow stairs. The drop comes from the Gridlock, but it does nothing. And wow, what a quick on the draw from the Vigil. It was actually Adapt to finish it off. Oh. Hivana gets one, but she's quickly traded back by Blasphel with a knife, in fact.
Respectful on the side of Blasphel there. And I just decided,
she just went for it. Okay.
Bullets aren't necessary here. Let's just go ahead and give him the old cold steel to finish it off.
Yeah, again, right? That was so much time was spent upstairs after Twisted died, and they couldn't get that guy out of bathroom. That was a really, really good flank by the Mozzie. I'm not sure why there were no tracks on upper yellow like that, or by mid yellow, because that's a pretty default position, and those track stingers not being there enabled that Mozzie to, well, I guess, distract the Jackal while Mute traded it out from there. Mankind advantage like that, especially with Gridlock just kind of dropping the hatch without a plan, was certainly not helping. And again, Hibana holes not great for the garage wall.
Need to locate and defuse
absolutely. And that's just a big misplay. But it seems like they're trying to stick with a very set roster of operators, and while that can be really, really good in keeping continuity between rounds so that you aren't having to worry about, okay, I was playing this operator, now I need to switch over to the playstyle of this operator, or I need to switch over to doing this because I'm now playing this style of operator, or what have you. It can help in that respect, but it's
10 seconds to insert.
It seems to be hurting them a little bit, especially with the bans that are out now. Those bans, especially down in basement, I mean, you have the ability to bring a Thatcher and a Thermite. You have the ability to have so much hard breaching capability, and yet you bring none of it, and it ends up hurting you later on in the round. I think they switch out Crimson, they can put him on. I mean, even a Maverick. With a Maverick, you still have fragging potential, but you also have significantly more hard breach potential as well. So it's kind of like trying to strike that balance, especially when you know how the bans are going, and they've gone arguably very much in the way of the attackers.
Yeah, so far Valkyrie, through these first 2 rounds have displayed very good, I feel like very good communication and team play, and being able to play around each other, especially, very, very much highlighted by that Clash play. I think further reinforced by that super quick refrag that we saw from Blastful. The call there from McDomi was like, it was likely a crap I whiffed. So Blastful was like, all right, I got you. And he picked up the trade, and now it's gonna be lobby press room, fairly. It's an iffy site, depending on how fast that the attackers are. But there's Twist again for the 3rd time in a row on Ash too.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be McDomi. What? Seal. You gotta pay attention to that window, man. McDomi gets his 2nd of the round after the entry, and he's been a star performer for this team ever since coming onto it. Jandy may not be aware of the punch hole that he's holding right now. It just might be the 3rd for McDomi on this round as he slowly starts. Okay, he goes down the Visa stairs, luckily avoiding that. But I mean, you've lost 2 men upstairs, not even HP taken off of Valkyrie, but it seems like they know that the Mute is down here, but the shots are whiffed. Adapt finds that kill, and he's got support of the Pulse. The duo roam downstairs, the info just coming out in space for the defense, and Crimson getting shot from above too. Powerhaus are just getting hammered from all sides. Valkyrie are taking the fight to them. Sirius at least goes down, but it's the dot. You've still got to deal with Pulse, you've still got to deal with C4 on Adapt and smoke canisters from Blastful, and Crimson's like 2 puffs away. carrying diffuser. This is not looking good.
I mean, if I'm 100% honest, Powerhouse looked kind of lost here. I mean, I was coming into this, I was very, very hopeful for them because I've seen great potential for them, but there's McDomi to get a triple kill to further reinforce my point, and a quad on the round there for McDomi, an incredible play by him. Just ever so more highlighting how much Powerhouse is struggling on their map pick nonetheless. This is not looking good for Powerhouse. I mean, moving over onto the side of Valkyrie, they are showing. I mean, they're showing even more. I mean, why they were so dominant earlier. I mean, like I said, bringing it back. I've said this now twice already. A 6-3 lead going in this, bringing it up to match point. Powerhouse was able to bring it back, but it looked like that was very much in the hands of Twists, who's now 0-3, and he's been on the entry every single time, and he's been 0-3 on the entry. He has not gotten a single kill. He has had no impact on that entry every single time. He is struggling. He seemed like the key for Powerhouse being that new pickup and being that. It seemed like he was able to catch lightning in a bottle that map and was able to really pull it back. But it seems like he's let that go now, and he's kind of struggling a bit. So while I want the team to be even, that's what I like to see from good teams. Twist has got to step up, especially with how key of a role he played during the last one.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe I wonder what it's down for, what it's down to. Maybe it's poor gunplay from him. Maybe it's insufficient drone work from the rest of his team, or maybe he's just not comfortable on console. Whatever it is, like you said, he just hasn't been showing up, and that lack of prowess that we saw from him, or that was apparent from him on Clubhouse, might be all Valkyrie need to take the map more dominantly than a 7-5. And we're seeing Archives tellers now. All 4 bomb sites being played by Valkyrie through all 4 rounds, and this is a very interesting setup to be sure. They're holding top.
I missed it. They're going split site?
Yeah, they're split site, and they're holding it very interestingly too. Normally, when we see the split site, people hold it from the bottom up with like C4s and rotate holes, or not holes in the floor. They're holding it top down, which we almost never see in Powerhouse. Instead of just rushing the archive site, on which I think there's only like 1 guy, they're trying to clear this heavy top floor presence in which there's castle barricades, Moyo shields, Mozzie pests, jammers, like 3 bodies. Like, I don't know if that's the play. You can probably rush archives and be fine with how much they have dedicated off-site.
Yeah, and that is, I mean, that's just very indicative of the way Powerhouse has been playing. I mean, they've been playing this map very top-down. I mean, it seems to be the strategy throughout the entire time. It's just, we're going to play this from the top down, we're going to clear, and we're just going to go and move on down. Even moving back onto the basement side, the garage site, where they could have very easily hardly taken the main wall, and they didn't. They opted to clear down, and it had almost no effect. And finally, we see Powerhouse winning on the entry, as Prolix will be able to find McDomi. Seal going to frag one onto Adapt as well. Twist still alive, remarkably, so far, but still has not died on the entry for once. And that'll be Powerhouse taking a man advantage that they have not seen in a very long time.
Yeah, in fact, not at all this map so far. This is their first man count advantage of Consulate, so we'll see if they're able to hold it, as Twist, though alive, he's most certainly not well, down to about maybe 26 HP, but hey, they've cleared the roamers, and they've still got a minute left. Actually, as I say that, there's Sirius. Sirius is still up here. Was he just misdroned? He shot the drone.
He was. Okay. He absolutely was.
I think he just shot the drone anyway, though.
If he had played that right and he had just sort of stepped back, I think he could have played that incredibly. But Bladsful there going to be able to take down Jandy, going to get the first kill there on the side for Valkyrie. Just here, we're going to try and get this refrag, as well as Seal dropping down, trying to get the kill as well. Made it very, very low here. Bladsful will get a this there, finally push them off. Serious able to find Prolix as well. The man count that they had is now just immediately back out of their favor, but Crimson able to finally shut down Blast, even it back out for them here. 9 seconds left. They have to plan for time. It's Crimson.
Wow!
Sirius drops down, gets a nasty shot there onto Seal. Crimson is able to down him and start this plant, but unfortunately not soon enough, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway as the mute was still up and able to get a kill.
That wasted a lot of time on top floor.
Absolutely.
And yeah, they cleared it. I mean, it was a 3v5, right?
Yeah, it was a 3v5, and they just threw away the man advantage like that. It was a 3v5, and then it was a 3v2 in favor of Valkyrie. I mean, but Powerhaus. I mean, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, they needed to play the top down on that one, because you rush basement. They kind of seemed like they were trying to bait the rush into basement, because you leave the rest up, but they had everything open so they could just collapse down onto it. It's what you kind of see when you see the SSG roam strat on Clubhouse. It's set up to there's a bunch of roamers way off the site, and it's set up just kind of just give them this false sense of security. Hey, you can come into the site and you can plant, and as soon as that happens, you have just all these roamers and all these ops collapsing on you from these angles that are near impossible to contest. And that's what that was set up for. We didn't see that happening because Valkyrie has just been winning their gunfights really, really well, especially on the hands of Glatzful. Able to get, I believe, a double on that round, almost a triple. But despite that, it was set up really, really well. It's probably the best I've seen the split site played so far, just in general in comp.
5 seconds.
Yeah, it was really well done, and it was interesting too, the top-down perspective from Valkyrie rather than that bottom-up. But it's going to be top floor again, and they're going to be bringing out the bane of Powerhouse's existence. The Clash is going to rear her head again. And last time, Powerhaus had a couple good ideas. They just didn't, unfortunately, pan out. But I mean, something different is there's no dot. So if that Clash gets damaged a whole bunch by, the track stingers, the nades from Seal, or shot, he's not going to be able to get that HP back, which was definitely integral to Valkyrie being able to hold off that push.
Yeah, it absolutely was. So I don't know. I mean, they switched it out now in Vigil, I'm guessing, for potential. A little bit faster. I mean, some could argue that his gun is a little bit more powerful than Doc's MP5, but it's still definitely interesting. So we'll see how this pans out, how they're going to deal with the Clash. She's going to go ahead and peek out and put a little bit of damage on the twist. He's going to go ahead and throw down reaching charges there to try and force him back. He does successfully, but puts absolutely no damage on the Seal. Gonna go ahead and get a nade. Gonna go ahead and start cooking one, and I gotta be honest, I do not think that was the play there from Powerhaus. You really need those to take care of the Clash, especially with the angle that you're trying to attack here from admin. You're really only trying to go from one angle. Those nades, if you can force her back into one of those nades, or box her into the corner with one of those nades, it's pretty much just game over for her. But now that you've used both of those and all of your utility in that department is gone, it's going to make things a lot harder. Now they can still rely on Jandy with those stun nades, and Twist finally able to get his first kill as he takes down a Dap who was roaming downstairs.
Yeah, I think Dap had went to go for a flank of some sorts, but it'll be taken out. It's not the Clash though, and I think that's the most important part. There's, interestingly enough, Powerhaus are all stacking up on the east side of the building. There's no one going for, like, the console rappel. Ooh, wow, what a shot from Jandy all the way down in a console office. Just rips the head right off of McDomi. Good night to the Maestro. But they're still trying to take care of this Clash, and virtue of the concussion grenade from Jandy, she'll finally get taken out using teamwork this time to fell the shield operator. It's all up to Sirius and Raid. Raid really the only one with any kind of utility to stop the plant or prevent this entry. Sirius is just have to rely on his gun, and I mean, it's a very good gun that he has to rely on, being the K1A, but he'll take about 50 HP from... Actually, no, is that a discharge? Because I thought the sludge was out of nades, but a great shot onto the head of Twist. But from Suicide Balk window, he'll finally get taken out. It's all up to Raided, a 1 versus 3 with barely any HP. He'll quickly be felled by Jandy. Jandy, a big round for him, not only taking out the Maestro, but helping his teammate dispatch of that Clash. A very big round for him.
Yeah, 2 nasty shots as well, taking down the smoke there as well. And Powerhouse are kind of starting to feel back into it. They finally come through the rounds of, okay, we know Valk's strategy now. We can kind of counter it a bit. And I mean, they played that really well. I mean, I didn't agree with the utility burn there early on there from Seal. I felt like those nades could have been a little bit more useful, but it still ended up panning out there. Jandy, masterful execution of those stun nades there, able to finally just push him out and able to perform really well that round as well. And now we're going to be seeing them head down to basement, and we're seeing the same setup we saw last time. So I'm going to be interested to see how Powerhouse adapts to this, or if they adapt at all, and we just see a very similar top-down take like we see is just kind of indicative of the way Powerhouse plays this map.
Yeah, I would assume so, because they're bringing the exact same lineup. I suspect they'll play it in a very similar way. Hopefully more efficient in cleaning out that mute in the bathroom, because he certainly gave them a lot of trouble, was able to get through the hatch for free as well after taking out, I believe it was the Jackal that they had. Which I mean, I guess Jandy's off the Jackal onto the Zofia, so that it's a change. So maybe help stunning out that player in the bathroom. Maybe for intel, they can take out the Evil Eyes as well with the impact. So all around, I guess they just didn't find much in the way of the Jackal. I don't think scanned any footprints at all, but there's a Dav with a spawn peak. The prone Visa door spawn peak. That is a very old spawn peak, and that'll fell Crimson, and that's your only hard breacher because you don't have a thermite. And now you can't open up that garage wall.
That's going to make this incredibly hard here for Powerhouse.
That was the best spawn peak Adapt could have hoped for.
Absolutely. I mean, that he could not have had a better payoff from that. I mean, going ahead and taking that down, I mean, that's incredible. Going ahead and getting that much utility off the board this early is going to be a big thing for Valkyrie, but I think Powerhouse can come back. They're going to have to drag out of their minds, and they're going to have to play very tight if they want this to work out. I mean, they're going to have to do what they did before. I mean, they're going to have to do it 4x4, but they're going to have to be very efficient about it and work all together. I think Twist there going to get caught in the corner there somehow, but
I don't know how he took damage, but
I think he got hit by the track stingers as they were
deploying.
So he took about 5 points of damage, and nothing really to write home about, just a little bit there. But that spot by the
did
Jaeger,
you see that?
Yeah,
What?
He's sitting on
There's
top
no
of
way. Yeah, he didn't see it either. There's no way they expect that, right?
He's sitting on top of the fridge there, and it's gonna get shot.
It got shot by his teammate, I think, didn't it?
I think he got shot by Raiden. So Jandy was gonna go ahead and get that in, and he didn't see him either. I don't think.
Dude, they've got no. That could be the biggest position of this round. Is Jandy sneaking around? He'll take out McDommy. That's where the drones were coming from. Strange that McDommy would allow himself to be exposed to that angle. Oh, there's a pest now too. Okay, all right. Well, I mean, it's going to be dispatched very easily, but again, they don't check. They don't see him. They went right past the Jaeger. They have absolutely no clue that Adapt is there. The mute will almost take a bullet at the hands of Jandy. I am just waiting for someone to try and walk through this storm, man. Adapt is in the perfect position to make a power play. Even if he gets a kill, they might... You know, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to accurately communicate a weird spot like that. And even then, even if they do kill Adapt, well, I don't know about that.
Might have given him away, but I don't think it has. No, it has not.
Yeah, they've got no clue.
Blatzel is going to go ahead and take down Prolix there. That's going to drop the diffuser down now, so Seal is going to have to get it back. Stun's going to come out there and gonna get caught, so
they still don't know.
Nope,
they've still got no clue.
And he has no clue. He's just waiting. Adapt has got a double kill now as Raiden takes down Seal, and now it's all up to Twist here. So far, he's not been doing great during the rounds, but hopefully this is going to be where he comes out. 7 seconds left. There's not much he can do. He finds Raiden. He needs one more kill. 4 seconds left. He doesn't see Adapt to the floor, and that is Valkyrie taking round number 6, pushing themselves up 5-1. Adapt what a just playing in the dirty little rat quarters. Just sitting on top of the rack, sitting in the corner.
His 3 kills. His 3 kills was a spawn peek, sitting on top of fridge, and prone around a corner. Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the respect in the world to Adapt. but those are some rat plays if I've ever seen them.
Yeah, but that was pretty much
some
doomed from the start.
Those
anyway.
are just some little rat spots if I've ever seen them. Just
Yeah, but I mean that was doomed from the start anyway. After the Hibana died, there's no way you can get through that, through the garage wall, and you just.
I mean, no hatches either.
Back pushes are hard, man.
Absolutely.
Back pushes are hard from archives. I mean, they had the hatches open, with the exception of Circle Desk, which is probably the most important hatch to actually get open over Cafeteria. And now Valkyrie are going to do the same thing. They're not taking Thermite, they're going to take Hibana because they expect the upstairs play from Powerhaus that's coming out, but they're actually going to bring a Thatcher. Blastful is on that roll, interestingly enough. So, Powerhaus are kind of leaning into that delay meta now. They've got Jaeger and Wamai, they've got Mute, you got Twist to hold the long angles. I guess, you know, the ACOG on the MP5, he needs all the help he can get right now as he's 1 in 3 on his entries. It's, you know, not great for your Ashe player. Going 4 and 6. Going from 15 and 9 to 4 and 6 right now in the first 6 rounds. Not a great look from him so far. At least Jandy's there on 6 and 4, but he's the only guy positive. Whereas everybody on Valkyrie is positive or even, with the exception of Rated, who is hard sticking like Maestro and Smoke. So, you know, Adapt is doing very well. Sirius has been doing very well. Blastful's been getting, you know, necessary trades.
I mean, he's also been playing that Clash that we saw that was so crucial before. I mean, he got no kills the rounds that he played Clash, but he was arguably the most influential player during that. And
absolutely.
I mean, he just did incredibly well during that. And so, I mean, yes, he's going positive. May not have like kills, but honestly, I feel like that's still fine with the way that he's playing. Donnie here, sitting on a very tight angle on the bathroom, looking for someone going to peek from yellow. They have the pings there onto Crimson, who is actually no, I believe yeah, that is Crimson, who is very lit up. A Twist. Oh no. Oh, that almost came very close. Twist actually just ran.
They let him get away with
just outside of the field of view of McDomi to heal up Crimson. Actually, I believe the stun that came in.
He did it again!
Yeah, he just did it again. And finally McDomi wises up a little bit, but Jandy able to find a kill on the Sirius. Adapt quickly refrags though. And that is that's your sledge for a Jaeger. I mean, at that point, too much more loss there on the side of the Powerhaus. He's actually taken out. I believe Sirius had not used any of his nades.
He was trying to use nades to get the guy off of yellow, but I don't know if he still had one. Adapt will at least refrag onto the smoke, so that's a big pick down. We were talking about how little a Jaeger affects the round in the grand scheme of things, but the smoke is a very influential kill, and now really the only plant denial you got is the C4 on Seal. He's playing in the connector, so I mean, he's in a position to actually capitalize on that. The question is, you know, will he be alive to do so, as still just repels coming out from the attackers, try to find any free picks, but Twist is going to lay out Adapt on the yellow stairs, so no more Ashe over there. Pre-fires over towards the console windows, will light rate it up just a little bit, but they know the reason why Powerhouse are able to fight back right now is they know their backs are safe. Because not only are all of Valkyrie pushing from the west side of the building, but the other side is blocked off by barricades, and that was a massive whiff there by McDomi. Missing that mute just allowed Seal to get the kill on his teammate. Well, okay, he still hasn't finished off the mute, and he'll get killed by Twist. McDomi? What are you doing?
He was struggling a little bit there. I mean, he missed the shots there, unfortunately, that first time, and that really hurt them. So Valkyrie already kind of struggling here in the second half, but honestly, I think we may see a repeat of last map, because already we saw them come into this half with a 4-round advantage, up 5-1. And already Powerhouse are looking a lot stronger on this side as compared to what we saw during the last half. They seem a lot more coordinated. They seem to understand what they're doing a lot more as well. So I don't know. I'll be interested to see where this goes in the hands of Powerhouse. If they're able to pull it back in and pull off again, like I said, something similar to what we saw last map, where they had an incredible comeback, able to pull it back up to a 6-5.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was 6-3 last time, which is still within the realm of possibility. They're only 1 point away each from that. Powerhouse are going to go downstairs, but no thermite for Valkyrie. Despite, you know, obviously expecting a garage defense as they just won upstairs, they're only going to have the Hibana, which is a little strange from what we're used to, but
I don't think it's really too much of an issue though, considering you only have Seal playing mute. I mean, you don't have any, you don't really have any breach denial that you have to worry about in the hands of a bandit or Chaos.
It's not necessarily the denial, it's just the holes that it opens up don't give you as much freedom to play from outside as you do with the thermite.
But I mean, another thing to mention though is those holes go both ways. With Hibana, you can really minimize the amount you're opening, still give yourself a way to get in. Yes, it's a lot more constrictive than opening up a thermite hole or Maverick tricking or something like that. But what you potentially have with the Hibana holes, you can open up a crouch hole with 2 of them, and then you've got a third, and you can open up some other angle, looking say into pipes or looking back over towards Yellow Pillar, but not have that entire wall open, so you've still got a good amount of cover outside. So I can kind of see where you're coming from in bringing the Hibana instead of bringing the full. Instead of bringing the full hard breach of Maverick or Thermite for that.
Yeah, the only thing about that though is, right, as holes work both ways, so does cover. And I mean, leaving that much of the wall still intact leaves the opportunity to long arm, especially if you're in a 1v1 situation. But it's going to be Blastful to get the entry onto Twist, so hopefully that's not the start of another downward spiral from Twist, as he'll fell first yet again. Good entry there by Blastful. And I don't know if they know the Zofia is there. Never mind. Jandy is on the flank on Spiral. He quickly dispatches of the sneaky Zofia. And Zofia for Jaeger, you know, I guess Twist didn't lose his life in vain. At least the trade comes out, but the attackers are not deterred. They'll keep moving just as aggressively down by lockers, trying to enter through the hallway down to pipes, it seems. Opening of the wall as well from Adapt. The rush almost coming through, but I guess damaged by his own breaching round. He doesn't want to further push the issue. The Maestro's the one holding it. Prolix, though, he comes off the angle to melee something. And Adapt will take full advantage of that. Sirius as well picks up Seal with the SMG-11. Crimson's down. All of a sudden, it's all to the Goyo upstairs, coming down Spiral. It seems like Blast was aware of the position. Pre-fires, lands the headshot. Valkyrie with a beautiful round 8, just all pushing from lockers. They didn't even need the wall open.
I mean, you were talking about back pushes being so difficult. That was just a well-executed back push because they just decided, you know what? We're just gonna go in full confidence. Is like, we know we can take this. We know we can win individual gunfights because honestly, that's what it comes down to between these two teams. I feel like Powerhouse has very solid strategy. I feel like Powerhouse has that. I mean, they're a very well-established team. They've got a well-documented sort of long history of having decent strategy. And I mean, prior to the season, I mean, they placed pretty consistently in the top 4 of this series. It's why they've been such a long-standing facet of the Invite series. But recently this season they've been in a slump. They've had a bunch of roster changes to try and change that up, try to change things for them a little bit. It seems like it really hasn't been working for them. They still had that strategy, but they just don't really have the frags a lot of the time to keep up with it. And already we're approaching what we saw last time. Valkyrie is now up at a match point of 6-2. They're 1 round away from taking this, and Powerhouse is down to arguably the weakest site in the standard rotation of sites, which is lobby press room. It is such a difficult site to hold because of the verticality, all the windows on both upstairs and downstairs that you have to deal with. I mean, there's just so much you have to worry about when it comes to this site, and that's why you're normally seeing last site rotation. When it comes to this, I would almost say Powerhouse, maybe we should repeat basement. yes, we lost it pretty handedly, but that was because of a very unexpected back push. I mean, they prepared very, very heavily for them to put a lot of their resources into that garage wall, and they didn't. They completely called their bluff, and they put all of their force into a back take, and it worked out flawlessly for them. But I think if they split up their resources a little bit more, to go for have a little bit prepared for a back push, have a little bit prepared for them taking the wall, I think it would potentially work out better for them. But going to a site that is one of the weakest ones that is out there, can potentially hurt them. But Jandy going to take out the very influential Blatzer there out on Suicide Balcony to go ahead and start things off and go ahead and take the Thatcher off the board as well.
Yeah, very good pick. I think something else to mention too is you were talking about how Powerhaus are pretty much known for their strats as well. Okay, never mind. His 2 kills go the way of Powerhaus. His probably gets a C4 on Dami. Jandy gets his second. Rated at least refrags Jandy, so he'll fell the Legion. No more goo mines, but a bullet hole angle being held by the Doc right now is actually stuck past by the Ash. Sorry, not by the Ash. I don't know why I just said Ash. It was the sledge. But Twist gonna lose out on that fight, unfortunately. Sirius now aware of that angle. He's gonna be wary. The Doc will heal himself back up. It's a tough position now for Valkyrie to fight themselves out of. It's a 2 versus... I was about to say 2 versus 4. Make that 2 versus 3. As Crimson falls. That's your smoke dead. As Sirius is now hunting. He knows there's a player down here. He'll spot him just for a second. Prolix Mag stumps towards the doorway, but that might be the opportunity the Sledge is looking for, and indeed it is. Baits Prolix out for the magazine and catches him on the reload with the SMG-11. A great bait and switch there by Sirius. That's all up to Twist and Seal. This 2v4 advantage that Powerhaus had previously hold has now slipped away. Even man count now, but only 45 seconds left. Rated also has to deal with this shield. There's likely ADS is protecting it. I don't know if Sirius still has frag grenades, so if he does, they should be... Okay, he's got 1, so they should be able to dispatch of that. Should they feel the necessity to. They're just droning up top floor, making sure no one's in projectors so that they can go for this lobby plant, which Rated will. It's going to be Sirius on the cover, chucking out a nade just to try and take anyone out from behind the shield, but I believe it just got ADS'd, and Twist will take out Rated. The cover that Sirius was providing, unfortunately, inadequate. You can see Sirius is looking. He doesn't quite know where the shots from the Doc came from. Looks like it might have been, yep, from behind Circle Desk, and Twist will jump on the opportunity. The default cam as well, still being left up, and Twist, a big 3K on the round. This might be the resurgence from him that we need to see Powerhaus try and take this match a little bit closer.
Absolutely. I mean, he has been showing up a little bit more, as well as that's, I mean, we saw Powerhaus kind of slip after getting that man advantage, but I mean, honestly, that having that man advantage, unless you have someone just go absolutely insane on the side of Valkyrie, which is very possible given their previous record and with how they've been playing these last few rounds, it wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if someone just decided to pull a 4K out of their pocket out of nowhere. But yeah, I'll be interested to see where this goes. So now we're gonna see Powerhaus heading to console meeting, and we're seeing it once again. It is now 6-3, match point in favor of Valkyrie. Having a little bit of deja vu.
Yeah, I think something else to mention is, so the point that I wanted to talk was that garage defense. I think a big thing to mention is you were talking about Powerhaus's strength and strategy, but Valkyrie have definitely stepped it up, highlighted again, you know, by those clash plays and the adaptation we saw from the lockers push. You know, they saw that Powerhaus didn't dedicate much to the wall and maybe tried to get Valkyrie to push that, but that's because Powerhaus had a roam upstairs. They had Goyo shields upstairs, they dedicated bodies up there, and because there was so much utility dedicated to that top floor and so much dedicated towards the garage wall, because they wanted Valkyrie to try and clear them out to do the piano and wall take that you see so often, Valkyrie were like, you know what? We're not going to deal with that. We don't want to have to deal with all those extra steps just to get this wall open, so we're going to hit you at your weak point, which was lockers. So I think that also displays that Valkyrie used to not be a very strat-heavy team, but it seems like, you know, Blasful and whoever else has been helping in the strat department has definitely stepped up their game. So it's really good to see from them. In going into AGN calls as well, I believe starting tomorrow. They might just be a top contender along with the caster team. Red Cube and Jazz. That's a team to watch out for. But like you said, 6-3, a familiar position from last map, and you said Powerhaus were able to take 2 in a row, bring it to 6-5 where Valkyrie won. Of course, Valkyrie looking to end things a little bit earlier. You just don't want this to drag on for too long. Don't want to show too much before going into playoffs. But this is the yellow stairs that had held them up so drastically in the previous round. It was the Jaeger and the smoke just completely hammered their yellow push. I think they've already actually taken the smoke off yellow stairs. So already got faster clear of yellow. Good job, Valkyrie.
Yeah, absolutely. They've already put themselves in a much better position than they were before. I mean, there's no one sitting in the bathroom either. They pretty much relinquished all control of yellow stairs. And already Adapt going to take out Jandy once again there. But Jandy was not able to get a kill this time. Jandy before was able to get a kill off on, I believe, Sirius last time before Adapt was able to get that Red Dragon. Already we're seeing a much better show out as Blast will get the kill. Sirius as Crimson and Prolix will fall as well. We get all complete and seal to finish this out and prevent the loss coming out from Powerhaus. They have to win 4 rounds straight. But they have to win 3 rounds straight to at least push themselves to overtime to prevent Valkyrie from pulling us out here. But it doesn't matter because Gladstone and McDomi will pull out a flawless round there on the side of Valkyrie. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Valkyrie have won. They have pushed themselves up and they have won 7-3. They said, no, you're not having to come back this time. We're going to